IVM.
Hi,
You're
listening to IVM
Daily.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of IVM Daily. My name is Jaanam, and with me in the studio I have Surbhi.
Hi.
And Abbas.
Hi.
So today we are talking about, before I introduce the topic actually, we are celebrating World Maths Day.
We're not really celebrating it.
Yeah, it's nightmarish. Yeah. World Maths Day and World Students Day. So today we are discussing our experience with math, how awesome we are at maths, and how we don't need a calculator to,
Of course.
Like a couple of episodes ago, you said how you were in a rickshaw and the rickshaw guy
I was being
wanted some
sarcastic.
change.
I was being
And you were like, you had
This
to actually
morning.
use the calculator.
Do you remember how our teachers would say, because there was this whole thing, like you wouldn't have a calculator with you at all times, so like you better learn how to multiply. But it's so weird because we already have phones and we have calculators in our phones.
Yeah,
So I'm like, wow, thank you. Life turned around and now we have calculators all the time.
at our fingertips, guys. So take that, math teacher. And yeah, we are also discussing our student lives, how great students we were back in school and college.
Oh, sure.
I was a good student. I was only bad in math.
Okay.
Did you ever fail in math? Like, did you have to
I did.
re-attempt?
No, I mean, not in the final exams, but one of those unit tests
Yeah,
and stuff I used to fail.
yeah.
And I got I was in CBSE, so in my 10th standard board exams, I got 33 out of 100, which was the borderline passing mark.
So already the grace marks.
Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure the examiner gave me grace mark because I scored well in all the others, but in math, I got 33.
Oh, and 35 was passing, right?
No, 33 was
33
passing in
passing.
CBSE.
Oh.
In state board, it was
I'm
35.
on ICSE board, and I
Yeah.
remember I remember my descent because I 8th class tak I was okay in math. Nobody would call me like, oh, whatever, you're not, like nobody can point out and tell me ki math is your weak subject.
Yeah.
But like in 9th, I can remember my descent. Like in my unit test, I got 11 out of 20 and I lost my shit. Like I was scared to like show it to my mom because like remember back in the day they had to like you have to get signatures and everything. So I was super scared to show 11 out of 20. And then in that same year I got 6 out of 20. I got 2.5 out of 20.
Surbhi, I still
That was
beat
my
you.
descent.
My descent has been half out of 20. I'm not even kidding.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So this
Why? Might as well just give 0. Why do you want to humiliate further by giving half?
Because
So
you
in
also
our-
have step marking.
Yeah, and so in our school we had math, which was already terrible. But to add to the nightmare, we had mental maths, which
What
was
is
like the
mental
separate.
maths?
So it was a separate 20-mark paper, which was kind of part of the unit test, and you had to clear that in order to
Give
overall
the-
pass. Yeah. So mental maths was we were given 10 or 15 minutes, and there were like a bunch of 20 or 40 questions, or like half mark each or something. 40 questions, I think. And you had to solve those on the spot using your brains. No calculator, no working out, like
Wow.
no calculating
Okay.
it on the side
Can you
of
use
the
the
rough
abacus?
work and all. So this was the worst. This was like my biggest nightmare in school because
Can you use your fingertips? 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Like that's all you need.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
But fingertips were not enough because these
Yeah.
were like complicated sums. They were like
man.
3-digit numbers multiplying by other 3-digit numbers, and you have to calculate this mentally using Vedic maths, and I don't know what all nonsense.
Oh my god.
So-
you can't even do carryover and things. You can, right?
You can.
your mind
but
you can, but you can't write anything
You can't
down.
write
Oh
it
my
down.
God.
But what I used to do, I remember this particular paper, I think I was in 7th or 8th standard, and I used my desk as the calculator, so I used to just scribble on the desk and try and calculate, and I did that for most of the questions, and I still got half on 20 guys. Like literally 40 questions, I just got one right.
Oh man.
Oh,
Abbas,
nice.
what about you?
Yeah, I remember once, I think in 9th standard maths paper, it was so terrible, like I did not know so many questions, so I remember I attempted like one question twice. So my teacher called me after that, like, what is this? You've done the same question twice. So it was terrible, yeah. And I don't know, when I used to get an answer, so like I used to get like whatever, 65 is my answer. And I'm like, I used to try and check with the partners, like, hey, 65 hai na? And I was 65, answer is 13.8. I'm like, point? How are you getting an answer in point? I don't have a point.
Oh my god, dude, math is the worst. I remember one time, so this was the test, so when before you, after 10th, you know, when you have to make a choice of what subjects you want in your 12th class, there's a thing called PCM.
Physics, chemistry,
physics,
math.
chemistry, math. So like, if you wanted math, there'll be like a test to decide if you can get it or whatever. So again, I really want math because I didn't want to do like a PCM with like biology or whatever, because I just want math.
Do PCB.
I didn't want to do PCB. I want to do PCM, even though I knew I suck at math. So in that test, I can't cheated, guys. I'm sorry, I cheated.
You cheated?
I cheated.
As in you copied from somebody?
I copied from someone. But that's okay, we were friends. But you know what happened? That was the worst test. But so like basically they were like, I didn't cheat fully only, but like one answer I copied. That was also a 20-mark test. And all of my other questions did myself because I thought, oh, this I know. The only question I copied was the one I got marks for. Just 4 marks. And that also was fully copied from my partner. I was like, God.
But 4 marks was enough to get you into PCM.
No. Then they had to retake it. And then I was prepared. I was like, okay, I better.
But I think the maths teachers are like the most sadist teachers you'll come across. Like, they have a lot of arrogance and pride about the fact that they teach math, and math is so, like, because they know math, they're like somehow like better in life.
Yeah, and they make you feel like shit.
Yeah, exactly. They make you feel like shit for not having. The worst thing was maths teachers, one of my maths teachers used to write the problem on the board, and then she used to call students to come solve this on the board. That's like public humiliation. Yeah.
So math teachers also do this thing where, like, immediately when you're bad at math, they will think you're dumb and you're good for nothing. Like, it doesn't matter if you're like good at any other subject. Like, oh, you're great in English. So you're like, you're bad in math, you're probably dumb.
Yeah, man, this is so true, because every time anyone spoke numbers to me and still does, I just feel I can't, like my brain just stops
Jaanam
functioning.
guys, producer of Paisa Vaisa, all about numbers.
It's not about numbers, it's about personal finance, Abbas. It's about management of
calculator,
finance.
okay, Abbas? We've grown up. Do you want to take a quick break?
So on that note, we'll take a break and be right back.
Hey everybody, it's another great week on IVM Podcast. Please make sure you're following us on social media. If you're not, we're IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Also, please do make sure that you give us a rating or a review for whatever show you enjoy. It's really helpful when we get those kinds of ratings. And also, please make sure that you spread the word about podcasting. That's something that I think is really, really important to the ecosystem, right? The more that you let people know that you're enjoying podcasts and what kind of podcasts you're enjoying, the more likely we are to get more and more people on board. This week on Cyrus is joined by adman and author Ambi Parmesaran. Ambi talks about what he learned from the prominent people he has met and also how things will change in the advertising world in the light of the Me Too movement. On Crowd Tales, listen to 2 standalone stories by Anand based on the concept of love, lust, and relationships. On the Pragati podcast, Pawan and Hamsi talk to the co-founder and editor-in-chief of the News Minute, Dhanya Rajendran, about online journalism and building a digital news platform. On The Kinetic Living, Urmi spoke to Nikki Gupta, the owner of the Italian bistro Mia Cucina. Nikki shares her experience of training for the Mount Everest Base Camp and how it changed her perception towards fitness. This week, Anugrah Srivastav from Small Case talks to Anupam about all-weather investing and why it's important to investors. And with that, let's continue on with the shows.
We are back talking about maths and our student lives. So, moving on from how sucky we are at math.
But I have a question.
I still have a lot to say about how...
I have a question. So, you have a sibling, right? Is your sister also bad at math?
She is. I don't know if she's as bad as me because I'm terrible, but she is. I wouldn't say she's.
Oh my god, my older brother is great at math, which is why it was very tough. And I remember, so like in school, I had my older sister was in the same school, and our math teacher was the common teacher. Okay, and one time she was giving me my unit test paper, and she shouted, "What's wrong with you? I know your sister is good at this." I'm like, "Do you have to bring me my sister in this?" They're very mean, dude. Math teachers are just born mean.
Bad. But so I have an elder sister. She was also really bad at math. But here's the thing, right? My mother used to teach math and science in school.
Are you
so
serious?
Yeah, so she always used to be like, "Ye chirag tale andhera hai," like there's darkness under the lamp, because she tried really hard to get me into math, but I just didn't get it. I just couldn't.
Dude, also remember when they would give out your test papers and they would shout out your marks?
Yeah.
Surbhi,
Man.
2.5 20. And then until that point, you're like, I'm good. I'll maybe have a 10. I'll maybe have a 8. And then they say 2.5, you're just broken because everybody knows now.
And did you have those things? I used to get scolded for this very often, where this problems used to start like whatever. Vivek has bought 3 saris, and he goes, and I was one of those guys who was like, why would Vivek buy saris? Like, why is buying 3 saris?
God.
Does he have 3 wives?
Open
He's like,
micing.
yeah, exactly. I was doing just that, and then my partner and the people around would laugh, and then the teacher would look, and she'd be like, why are you laughing? And then, ma'am, Abbas is saying, why would Vivek buy 3 saris? And come solve the problem on the board. I was like, oh shit.
Change his name too from Vivek to Abbas. Abbas bought 3 saris.
The worst.
Oh,
And you know so you took 11th, 12th math, right?
Yeah.
So did you give entrance exams?
Yeah.
So-
I gave UPTU and like...
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
So in those maths papers, you got like 4 options.
Yeah.
And all those 4 options, one would be like 16.9, 16.8.
They won't even come close
Yeah.
to your actual answer.
No, they would. And then you'd be like, I got 16.8, but what if it's 16.9? Like, did I do one thing wrong because of which I got... It was the worst.
Man, I don't know how you did that. So I flunked in my math prelim in 10th standard and I had to redo it. In fact, maths and physics both. I flunked these 2 papers.
Oh yeah, that was such a
Remember?
culture shock for me when chemistry and physics needed math. I was
Oh
like,
my
what?
God. I was like,
Nobody
I
told
just
me.
got away from math.
Yeah.
And then there were 2 teachers around me hogging me, "Arey, aapka ye equation karte." I was like, maths maybe there's this problem, physics maybe. I just
What was
yeah,
the
so
story?
I was like, I mean, after 10th, I was like, maths is not for me. I don't care. I don't want to take this up. But the thing was, I was great at bio.
Okay.
And I wanted to pursue like I wanted to become like probably like some surgeon
doctor.
or a doctor. Yeah. And I was like, shit, abhi ye banne ke liye PCM chahiye.
Yeah.
And I sucked at all 3 PCMs, man. I was like, why isn't bio an option?
I think the only thing I was good at in PCM was PCM with computers. So I was good at computers. I was like,
Okay.
oh, awkward. I can figure that.
Or good.
So I know Java, I know HTML.
But guys, what about like, algebra and trigonometry, guys? Like that was
That was
hell.
that was really bad. Do we still need it? I've never like.
No, I mean, I
Remember
don't
board
know.
mass? Who can finish board mass?
What is board mass?
You
Bracket
board
of
mass?
division, multiplication, addition, subtraction.
I don't even know
I'm
that.
proud of you, Jaanam, for knowing board
So I didn't
mass.
mind. I mean, I did like if I had to pick algebra or geometry, I'd probably pick algebra because the geometry had these freaking like you had those protractors and all that. I never figured out how to use them, and
was
then you
all
had to
tukka.
make an arc and a decimal point, and the lines would intersect, but mine would never intersect. So I was like this is just like on paper. I can't make these lines meet.
Oh God, do
It
you
was
guys remember
terrible.
matrix?
Graph. What?
Matrices.
Matrices,
Yeah,
matrices.
I
God, the
vaguely
difference of
remember
say it
this.
also. But like you'll have like 3 lines in a square, and there'll be like array of numbers. Those were quite simple. Like this when they started out, that seemed like a simple chapter, but obviously got worse because they involved X's and Y's.
Yeah, and same with statistics. Like when statistics started out, like all the mean, median, mode was fine.
simple.
But like then it got really complex, and
That's
I was just
true.
like, how do you reach this
I love
equation?
probability also. Probability was quite also easy, but
I
then
don't think
got,
I ever
like,
had that.
Yeah, it got
You're
out
gonna
of
get
hand.
so many hate comments by math lovers saying, you guys should have had a math lover on the panel.
I'm
We
sorry,
searched, everybody hates math.
Everybody hates maths.
Okay, guys. So what about just being students in general? How is student life?
Would not recommend.
No, you don't miss your student life?
I don't, guys. I move on. I'm not even in touch with any of my friends.
What were your
because-
most like scarring experiences in school? Like
I've not had like scarring experiences, but I honestly feel like I just
choose
don't-
to remember the good ones.
I remember the good ones, but they're not like. I mean, I honestly don't remember anything.
You've completely blocked out that part of your life?
Yeah.
so, what
Okay.
are some of the good memories you have about?
My school memories I really like especially from like standard 8 to standard 10. I really like that phase of my life. But junior college and my dental college, not really very fond memories of being students. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, if like from standard 8 to 10 is when your interests are developing, and I like to read and I like to watch, TV shows and stuff. So there was a little small circle of my friends who like to do the same things also. So I used to look forward to talking to them, like pretty much what we do now on the internet. I used to look forward to going to class and talking about what I had read or what I had seen with them. Kind of what we do on IVM Likes.
Okay. Another podcast we like to recommend. Sorry, I just remembered one thing. Did you guys ever do this thing where if you get like 17 and a half out of 20, and if your friend asks, hey, how much did you get? You'll say say 18.
Yeah,
And
always.
then 2 days later, your mom will ask 19. Like it just keeps on increasing. And then 17 and a half counts as 18 for sure. That's 18. It's just...
Yeah, you just round it off, man. It's
Do you have any? I mean, this just struck me. I actually have a bit about my school life in my stand-up. Do you have anything about?
Yeah, I have that bit where I had a bad school life.
Okay.
But
I talk
honestly,
about
yeah.
being an average kid in school, and then so our school did this thing where our class teacher rotated the person you sit next to. So every week it was someone different. So I talk about how as an average student for like a year I had to sit next to like the nerdiest, brainiest kid in my class. It was quite an experience, yeah.
But actually, yeah, that was it. I feel this is it. This is all the trauma I can relive today.
Are you
That's-
in touch with your Jaanam? Are you in touch with your school friends still today?
A couple of them I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I still talk, but
Not a fan.
no, as in I just a handful of like I can literally just count them on one hand. I'm in touch with them, but yeah, man, I was very quiet in school, and also like as a student, I was this very likable student, you know, like most of the teachers really liked me because I was quiet and I wasn't like the mischief maker in the class.
Yeah.
That's why teachers were like,
Except for the
"What?"
maths teacher who gave you half
What
part of
class? This question to the both of you. What class or what time in school did you peak in? Like when did you feel like you were getting a little popular and were making like some friends?
I wouldn't say popular. I was never the
What was
Yeah,
your
popular
neither was-
kid.
I
What
was
your
also never
peak?
popular.
I know, but like, what's your peak when you realize, oh, now I can't enjoy school now?
I actually happened for me after 10th. So 11th and
Same.
12th I stayed
Yeah.
back in school, but I didn't really make much friends there. But I was I became more like I started actively taking part in like
things.
debates
Yeah.
and like theater
Yeah.
and stuff, which I never did when I was in. Up till 10th, I never really participated. I was always quiet and shy. But 11th and 12th made me like open up more and
What about
just.
you, Bas?
I think standards 8th to 10th were like the ones where I thought I peaked
in.
apparently.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I kind of peaked it, I think, post 9th, because then we had like student elections where like you could be like the
Ooh.
Head girl.
head
Yeah.
girl and the house
Were you
captain.
head girl?
I was head girl of my like house captain of greenhouse because we had like different.
Oh, even I was in
right.
greenhouse.
Yay! What about you, Bas?
I was in Saffron House.
I knew it. You look like someone from a Saffron house. But yeah.
But I have to say this: in 9th standard, I was appointed the class monitor, which was different from a house captain.
Yeah.
So I was
class
appointed.
monitor is nothing. They
I
rotate
know,
class
but
monitors
I got
every
like a
month.
badge and all that shit.
Class
and,
monitors actually got bullied. Like
No, I was pretty decent, okay, and I had that for about I think 3 or 4 months, and then the badge was taken away from me because apparently someone went and complained that Abbas gives bad words on school bus, on the school
You
bus.
give bad words?
Yeah,
What does that mean?
I don't know.
what was his bad behavior
I have no
outside of
idea.
school?
Oh my god.
I was on the school bus. I was outside of the school
Alright,
premises.
Abbas. Okay, any Abbas school friends that are listening, please let us know what did he write. What did
I didn't write
what,
anything. I
What
apparently
bad words did Abbas?
used bad words, and then my badge was taken away by the principal.
Well,
You sound very proud of it. Oh my god. So that was us discussing our school lives and how we all love math somewhere.
what a
A
disaster.
little part of us. A little
Math
part of
sucks.
us loves math. But yeah, if you guys have any stories from your student life, do share it with us and also let us know how much you love maths. We'll be back with another episode. You can reach out to us at IVM Podcasts on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. You can also reach out to us personally. Abbas,
You can follow me on Twitter at Abbas Moment.
Surbhi,
You can follow me on Twitter at Small Talk Police.
and you can follow me on Twitter at Jaanam Devan. That's a wrap. See you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, I'm Vishal Gondal, an entrepreneur. I've had the chance to meet and understand how some of the super achievers have hacked their way to success and they have done spectacular innovations. Now I take a closer look at these people's lives to find out what lies beneath the force, only on the Vishal Gondal Show. Episodes out fortnightly on Wednesdays on the IVM website, app, or your favorite podcasting platform.
शून्यवन् 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 शून्य
billion-dollar acquisition. Another copycat startup got formed.
No, the tech world in India is surely moving double the speed of this voiceover.
Tune in to Shunya One every Tuesday to catch us talking to the smartest people we know on the IVM Podcast website, app, or wherever you get your podcasts from.